about this feeling, baby, we're invincible.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Notts County. As always, if you're enjoying the save, drop a like on the video, that'd be tremendous. We had a youth intake, and unfortunately, I say unfortunately, like, we have some incredibly good players, so the chances of us getting a 5-star player in our youth intake are astronomically low. And that's fine. So we've got to be a bit more serious about this. But I still don't think this is... I mean, he's decent. Like, don't get me wrong. He's not bad. He's got 10 passing. There's some standout stats in certain places. He's got some good mental stats in, like, his decisions, his teamwork, his leadership. He's not the worst in the world by any stretch. And he could still be something solid. Like, he could sort of get to sort of good rating for the senior team. But really, we're talking about, like, Brendan Milnes type of level, really. Which means he's still a really solid player, but nothing amazing. So this is Nigel Wheatley. He was the best of the bunch. And also, can I just say, since I've started streaming, I've really started enjoying this save even more as well. I didn't expect that to be the case, but it is. I'm now actually really looking forward to making videos and doing streams. So that's fantastic. Here's a little taste of what you're missing out on if you aren't checking out the streams as well. Here. There's a guy just called Eddie playing for them as well. He fell over the referee. I'm sorry. We have to watch this guy. I swear to God, he falls over the referee. Oh, God. That's amazing. In fairness, the act of violent conduct did result in a card given out for their player. Well, I assumed it since it was subbed off in the 37th minute and their sole booking came in the 38th. That makes sense. However, what I would still say is that violent conduct only getting a booking when the player is literally substituted with a concussion suggests to me that perhaps they might have got that one a little bit on the wrong side. The thing is, you couldn't even stop the game and go get a croissant. No, exactly. That's the biggest victim of all this. Liverpool are looking unstoppable. Pandemics aren't a feature of FM20, are they? Well, Liverpool aren't quite so unstoppable anymore, it would seem. But unfortunately, Guerra strained his knee ligaments and actually missed 2 of the matches off camera. Bad times. Let's get into those. But despite that, we were able to beat Manchester United by 2-0. A really strong performance, to be honest. Darren Lever gave us the lead early on. Cabral got to the byline on the breakaway, whipped it across the back post, and Darren Lever smashes home his 9th of the year. He's doing a decent job this year. He really, really is. I think he's going underrated somewhat, but he's having a good season again, which is really nice. And then later in the game, I think it was Greg Campbell. No, it wasn't. It was Becker. He got into that position on the right, dinked one up, and there was Costel Troffin. My man, Count Truffles, was there to make it 2-0 in the 60th minute with his 6th goal of the season. It's incredible that he's actually doing as well as he is, considering his sort of ability levels, but I can't really fault him. He was man of the match here. Brilliant performance. Unfortunately, we were unable to carry that into the game against Newcastle. Troffin started up top again, but we just weren't good enough in this one. Jean-Carlos picked up a slight knock. Newcastle didn't really do anything themselves, but we just couldn't break them down. Our chances were few and far between, and we had to settle for a 0-0 draw at St James's Park. But back-to-back clean sheets does help us, because our defence has slacked a little this year. But then we got massively back to winning ways, making it, 2 wins out of 3 and no goals conceded in these games off camera, which is a good sign. Jean-Carlos with a goal, Pablo Acevedo with a goal, then Celso, and then finally a Guerra penalty late on as he returned from his little injury. He's back on the scoring charts, but City's player has now got 22 in the league as well. So Guerra's got to get his act together over the remaining part of the season. It was fairly tight for most of the game, but in the last 15 minutes, we just sort of breezed past Bournemouth to give ourselves a 4-0 victory and a bit of revenge for the cup result, which I'm totally in favour of. And that leaves us in a very important position. We are top of the Premier League. I would never have imagined. I think at one point we fell 13 points behind Liverpool in the Premier League. It might have only been 10 or 11. It might have actually been 11. I think they could have potentially gone 13 points clear, but they drew and ended up being 11 points clear. But nevertheless, okay, they've got a game in hand on us, but we are temporarily at least top of the Premier League, 72 points on the board. And let's put it this way. We won the league last year with 79 points. We've got 6 games and only 7 points more would equal our tally from last season. I think there's no way in hell that we don't finish with a higher points tally of last year, and I still don't think we're going to win the league, but the main thing is that we're increasing our points total year upon year and looking a lot better. We're massively outscoring every team in the division now, which is very, very encouraging, and 25 goals conceded I think still isn't too bad overall. Cardiff won another game, so they've beaten Brentford's tally to get more than 12 points, which was the worst in this save. As you can see, Guerra with his 22 goals and 9 assists, he's contributed to 31 goals in the Premier League. He's not going to get to 41 this year, but I think he could still have a crack at challenging for the overall scoring record for us in general in one season, which is still held by Keatley. Guerra's got, I think, 30 now. And in case you're wondering, it's Chelsea. We're playing Chelsea in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and if we go through there, we would have to play against Juventus or Liverpool. It's going to be very, very difficult, and I think we might struggle a little bit, but we're going to give it our best bloody shot, and I really hope we can get there and do some magic this year. But if we don't, Guerra will be getting his new contract in the summer, which means he'll be tied down properly and we won't have to worry about him anymore. So, Troffin's got a damaged neck, whatever that means. Presumably he was sticking his neck out a little too much. And unfortunately, Chelsea have a player called Nirvana who is unregistered, so presumably he wasn't coming as he is. Okay, so Fernandes will come in because Campbell is knackered with a lot of games lately, even though he had an international break. Everybody else, though, should be fine, and I'm prepared to go with this one for now. You can see Darren Lever's been on a nice upward trajectory for the latter half of the season, and I'm prepared to continue with him for that very reason. The midfield, Beckhardt really flew away, but then him and Assman have kind of been vying for that spot since then. No one's really decided to take hold of it, but you can see Jespersen again on the up as well. Tierso's still slightly injured, so we're going to bring Sean Lancaster in. He's not really played at all this year, bless him, but I just think Cabral's done a better job, frankly, and it would be impossible to pretend that he hasn't. So there's your bench. Let's go. It's the home leg first. We know what happened with Chelsea last year. That was an insane tie. But my concern is quite simply that Sebastiano Esposito is impossible. It feels like he is actually broken. He's that good. But we'll see. It astounds me how that a 6'1" player could dominate the league as a striker as well in terms of key headers. This is huge. We need to do exactly what we did against Inter. Put out a good score in this first leg. Now, Chelsea will probably be keen to get revenge after us knocking them out thanks to that ridiculous 5-4 at Stamford Bridge last year. Uh-oh, Fernandes is... Okay, that's fine. I am concerned that Guerra, again, when he comes back from injury, it normally takes him a couple of matches to get fully back up to speed. He normally scores like a penalty or two, and then he'll suddenly have a breakout game where he'll grab a pair and all of a sudden he's back onto fine form. But unfortunately, I feel like we're still in the phase of him not quite fully back to fitness yet, and that concerns me because I think he might be a bit of a passenger today. Havertz. Uh-oh, Chelsea have... Oh, hello, that's a bit of a poor play from Chelsea as it happens. Now, don't do the poor... Oh, you mug. It's the same as against Juventus. I don't know what it is about the Champions League. It was exactly the same kind of defensive threat. Like, we've won the ball here, and Acevedo's like, fine, no worries, I'll drop it off. All Celso has to do is either play it back to him, and what is he doing? And Esposito, of course, flies through 1-0 Chelsea. I mean, what is he actually doing? There's no excuse for... Like, he's not tried to pass it and it's been blocked. He's just stood there until he's tackled. What are you doing? We need to adjust our approach because we've been shocking so far. And, I mean, they deserve their goal because they played well. But the way that they've got it is just unacceptable to me from our standpoint. Lever. This is not a good start to this match at all. And Celso, again, has made another high-profile error. He's very dependable a lot of the time. Oh, is the ball still... Oh, my... Why did... The ball is on the line and they're running away from it. The keeper does not have the ball in his control, and our players are running away from the ball. Oh, Lever's actually kept it in amazingly, and he's got a room for Acevedo. He has to find a good cross, and Beckhardt, yes! Joran Beckhardt, 6th goal of the year. Lovely ball. That goal is almost identical to the one that Assman scored in the last episode that you didn't see. I think it was the first one against... I actually can't remember who it was against. It was a game we won. It was against Brighton, I think. Lovely ball back there. Acevedo takes his time, picks out a ball. Beckhardt, lovely bit into space there. Powerful header, and it's at least 1-1 now. That's better. Goes through a few, and he could square it, and he's been fouled, and now we might win a penalty. This would be a change-up for the books, and it is. Come on, Jose. If he puts us in front here, this would be the strangest turnaround. Completely out of nowhere. Go on, Jose. Smashes it, and Hill makes the stop, and he's been really bad with his penalties in the Champions League, it feels like. That's where he misses the majority of them. Okay, 1-1 at half-time. It's not the worst result in the world, but we're not getting a lot of the ball, and players are just getting run all over the shop here. But what I would also say, if it weren't for that Celso mistake... You know, we'd be a goal up right now. And we've had a penalty, which we'd missed too. So it's all our own fault. Come on, just find a late winner. At least that way we can go there and try to get a draw or something. Fernando Bonanno! Oh, he's offside. He's offside. Unless we come up with a miracle late on here. This is going to be a very, very difficult second leg at Stamford Bridge. Torgerson. One by... Oh, and is it the post? Yeah, that looks like it's going to be it. Notts County 1, Chelsea 1. And that's all of our own doing. Like, we gave them the goal. We also missed a penalty. We had that chance where they had the ball on the line and we all ran away from it. Like, that's completely our own fault there. And now we've got an awful lot of work to do in the next leg. Join you guys for that in a second, I guess. Right, we're back. And we done messed it up a little bit in the league. A frustrating performance away at struggling Leeds United. Our first defeat for a while since that Chelsea one in the league. They just flew out the traps. Scored a goal early on from a corner. Then Lincoln bent one in the top corner from God knows how far out. We did get back into it through Andreas Damgaard coming off the bench and scoring his 3rd goal of the season with Torgerson assisting. But then they grabbed one late on us. The defence just fell apart again and Paul West put Leeds back in front. Frustrating performance. Just bad, and we're really sort of losing ground in the title race again with that draw against Newcastle and now this defeat to Leeds. It's given Liverpool a real impetus to go and win this title now. So, and with us still having Champions League, well, there's all sorts of things on the line. I think if we do go out to Chelsea now, we might be able to concentrate on the league and sort of claw our way back in, but it's still going to be an uphill battle. But we just really got to focus on the Champions League because that's our priority right now, which is what we're doing today. Liverpool look very comfortably through against Juventus potentially, but it could all go wrong for them. We just need to go out to Stamford. We have to go there and win, or a score draw where we can get a 2-2 perhaps. But it does seem a little bit unlikely. Celso's also nursing a knock now, which is not particularly great either. So Pinto will come in. Dubois and Beckart in the middle. Yeah, that's all right. John Carlos had a little rest for the Leeds game, so everyone should be back. But Guerra's just, as you can see, tailed off again now, and that's concerning. So our bench is going to be Tirso, Fernandes, Troffin. You can see there's a lot of players coming back to fitness here. He had a neck problem. Keskin, Perrier, and Torgerson. We know we have to come to Stamford Bridge and score goals. Which is why we're going to set ourselves out to do that. But the players have looked a little bit iffy. The result against Leeds didn't exactly fill me with confidence, so we need someone special to do something tonight. We've had heroes in the past, and Lever's just taken on Gritzas twice there and beaten him. That's a good sign. Chelsea, I don't think, had a midweek game either, so they are a bit more fresh than us, which does not help in any way. But we've just got to hope that, you know, they've done amazing things before. I've made sure Troffin's on the bench because I feel like he is more likely to pull out something outrageous for us than Bonanno. Quite simply, just because of his track record of doing it so far this season. All the way through, and Esposito's broken the backline perfectly and immediately puts Chelsea a goal up after 2 minutes. And that is really, really just the worst possible start to this. Esposito is unplayable. Not that he's done anything fantastic here. He's just timed his run to absolute perfection. Drops back, then he makes the run. The defenders don't track it. He's so much quicker, even than Pinto with his 18 sprint speed. And Suarez should be saving that, to be fair. That's better, sort of, but no. All our headers, the clearances, have just fallen to Chelsea players. We're not winning the second ball, and Esposito's broken the backline again. And that time the keepers have forced the save. But he's just so good at breaking the backline. Screw it. It's going to have to be this. Guerra's going to have to move to the right wing, which is the last thing we want. But that does mean Costel Troffin's going to get 80 minutes to be a hero again. Hey, maybe that's a blessing in disguise. I just don't see it being that way. And there you go. Look, Esposito, he wins every header. No matter what you do, he wins headers against you. Admittedly, Pinto isn't the tallest, but we've seen how he does this. He is just so good in the air. It's absolutely outrageous. I don't know who he's up against here, but regardless, I mean, the defender doesn't even jump at the one in front of him for some reason, and now it's 2-0. Esposito is unplayable at times, and you basically just have to try and outscore him. Troffin gets this header on target, at least. Well, I mean, this looks like any hope we had of going through now is completely dead. Unless we score twice. If we score twice and get a 2-2 draw, we would actually go through, but Dubois. John Carlos whips it across, and Troffin puts it in the back of the net. Chelsea 2, Notts County 1, Costel Troffin. What is this man made of? It is insanity how he keeps on managing to do this. When you need an important goal, he's there. By the way, what a ball from John Carlos. Just to dig that out, Troffin gets in there in between the goalkeeper, and it's 2-1 at Stamford Bridge. If we could score another one, oh my God. Still got a whole half left to play. Oh, go on. How have they come out of that with the ball? Well played again. And again, we just lose it. And breakaway chance now. Jean Carlos. Costel Troffin's not making a run for some reason. Guerra could, though. Can he slip it through for someone, perhaps? He finds Beckart! And it's saved by Heel. Half-time, 2-1. Troffin's goal has given us the faintest of lifelines here. Interesting. We've just done nothing in this second half at all. Campbell's got it, though. Whips the ball in, and it's cleared away by Chelsea. Can bring this ball up, 20 minutes to go, but we've just shown absolutely nothing in the second period. Chelsea have tightened up massively, as you'd expect them to. Acevedo wins us a corner, and I think he probably could have gone for goal there just to create a bit of chaos, but they've been the better side in the second half. They're shutting up shop a lot here. It's cleared away. Dubois smashes it into the side netting. 5 minutes to go. I feel like if we were to get a goal here, though, we'd be in a very strong spot to actually go through, because they'd have so little time to respond to it. Fernandes knocks it down for Beckart. Get it back to him. He's going to shoot. He's going to shoot. He's going to shoot. What are you doing? Seen a load of stuff late on, but it's been meaningless. And Troffin out for a throw-in, and it's going to be a Chelsea victory. Our own defending has cost us in the grand scheme of things. We couldn't defend against Esposito in this game. We couldn't do anything right in the first game. Troffin bailed us out, or he tried to, and that's it, we're out. I mean, that's completely our own fault. Just defensively, this guy's ridiculous, but we still should have done better, frankly. Troffin, fair play to him, is the only player on the pitch that I really think has covered himself in any kind of glory tonight. Quite simply, we have to be doing better than that. And we shouldn't have to rely on someone like Costel Troffin to pull his trousers up and him be the one to do it for us. Esposito scores yet another 3 goals against us in 2 legs. He's unplayable. So, that leaves us with a very simple proposal. We must go and try to win this league now. We're out of the Champions League. I did not expect it. I thought we would do better. I actually didn't know if we were going to do as well as we did last year, but we've just sort of trickled away in the last couple of games. Just found a little bit of misfortune. Not even misfortune, just bad form. People not quite licking their passes up. We started kind of with the Inter game. We actually pulled it back with some good results. 3 straight games without conceding a goal. 4 if you include the friendly, I suppose. But then it's just, the goal scoring then dried up, and that's killed us. Right, we need to get back onto this for the final few matches of the season. Thankfully, though, Burnley, 13th, 19th, 17th and 20th. Other than Spurs, we're playing 4 sides who are really struggling. So we've still got a chance to finish off if we can beat Spurs with 5 wins out of 5 and giving ourselves the best possible chance at winning this league. So that's what we're going to be doing in the next episode. It sucks to go out in this stage, particularly as we did better last year, but that's just life sometimes. So if you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope you have, drop a like on the video. That would be tremendous. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching. As always, hold your gun, cap your bar. Bye-bye.